Hi, welcome to NAB Show 2024. I'm Clare Plaisted, and I'm joined today by Angus Mackay, Product Marketing Manager from Matrox Video. Hi, Angus. How are you?
I'm very well, Claire. Thank you. And yourself?
I'm very well.
Good.
So first of all, can you tell me a little bit about Matrox Video?
Absolutely. So Matrox Video is a company that's been in business for, over 47 years. We're in our 48th year now. And we're a company that has always served both end users as well as what we call OEMs, so other broadcast suppliers and vendors in the industry. I think Matrox is known and prides itself for the quality of its engineering and for its ability to provide products, services, systems, solutions that are going to allow our customers to handle getting video in and out of systems or in and out of locations from one to another, transporting it, connecting it, converting it, monitoring it, all of the glue and the infrastructure that is necessary for any broadcast, television, live event facility or operator to be successful.
Okay. And how are you different from some of your competitors?
Well, I think what really separates Matrox and most of our competitors is that not only do we have the end user business, but we also have the OEMs. And so we're driven by very demanding customers who are looking always to satisfy, in turn, their own customers. So we're pushed to always push the envelope in terms of new capabilities. We have been part of many technological shifts, helping our customers and their customers go from analog to digital, from SD to HD, from HD to UHD and 4K, and now 8K and beyond. So our engineering that we put into our what we call OEM cards, we then take all of that technology and port it over into our end user devices. So whether you're buying a Monarch Edge or a Convert IP or our latest DSX LE6 network card, you're getting the same core technology.
Okay. And what are you showing here at NAB Show this year?
Well, I think one of the most exciting announcements we have is around Monarch Edge, which is our production encoder. And, you know, traditionally it's been used for remote production. It does the very interesting synchronization capabilities, allowing people who are doing remote production to send synchronized streams, very important for clean switching. And again, 10-bit 422, very high quality video. So people really, when they're creating and capturing the most high profile content, when image quality matters the most, they're going to turn to Monarch Edge. We've added capabilities in terms of ancillary data, bank, SCSI messaging, closed captioning, these kinds of things, as well as HDR support in the encoder. And so that opens it up to many more transport workflows, contribution, distribution, these kinds of things. And so we find that we have a lot of the industry's private video distribution companies, private video circuits. I have identified Edge as being the encoder that they'll recommend for their most demanding clients and the ones where image quality matters the most. So we're now presenting Monarch Edge as being a very versatile encoder, not only for remote production and now contribution as well as distribution workflows. Convert IP is another product that we're showing here at NAB 2024, and this addresses the need for IP video conversion. Of course, ST2110 and now IPMX, a format based on ST2110 with a little bit more flexibility, are really coming to the fore. Everyone, we're no longer talking about ST2110 coming, it's here. And people are using it already in production. So these devices allow for conversion back and forth between these IP video format and baseband, so SDI and HDMI, and basically allow any broadcaster, operator, live event producer who wants to work with 2110 to preserve their investment in baseband equipment, such as HDMI monitors, production equipment, and then do point conversion where necessary. So some people will do that conversion upstream and have a complete 2110 workflow with behind the monitor conversion so that they can see the output of their work. Others are continuing to work all the way in SDI and then only converting to 2110 for final delivery. There are a few different workflows, so our device enables all of that. as encoding experts, we've also developed a product line for KVM extension. So we have 4K IP KVMs, a product called XTO3 that we're demonstrating here in our booth on the South Hall. And this is great for remote operation and control. You know, in a lot of situations, you will have your workstations, your devices, whatever it is you're controlling in an environment suitable for them. So perhaps noisy, but cooled and with electricity and in a rack somewhere like that. Whereas your artist or operator needs to be in a location suitable for them. So maybe it's a color correction grading room with the right lights, or maybe it's sitting in an environment where you have multiple workstations that you need to control. And rather than having, you know, a keyboard, mouse, and monitor for each one, you might want to just use one keyboard, one mouse, one monitor for all of those workstations and easily switch between. Because it's an IP product, it's very flexible, and you can use your IP network to basically route that signal wherever. So you can have a workstation in one location, and any artist or operator can pick up control of that workstation and access it from home. That works over WAN and LAN, and a new capability that we're showing now is the ability to do that also over the public internet on a 1G connection. So some new capabilities there. And then finally, because as I mentioned, we're an OEM-oriented company, I would say that another important thing that we're showing here is our Matrox Origin framework. Now, as you well know, and we can see everywhere, the cloud is forefront. You know, I guess it's second place to Gen AI as the buzzword these days. But nevertheless, cloud is still prevalent for people. They're really trying to think about it. And if we break cloud down, I think what it really means is software or software defined. People say cloud, and really what they're talking about is the ability to use generic IT equipment. And it could be located in someone else's data center, or it could be a cloud provider, but it could also be in their own facility. And maybe you want to create a hybrid model where you're using some equipment in your facility, some in the cloud, or a mixture of both, right? So what the industry has been doing, primarily motivated by the pandemic, is a rapid acceleration to moving to cloud. And what that meant is that generally people took existing products and they said, how do we make this work remotely? And so they did what we call lift and shift. And they took a product that used to run on-prem in a video environment, so clock-driven, synchronized, tied to a house genlock, all that kind of stuff. They took that and they made a version that could run on a virtual machine in the cloud. Okay. But that didn't solve any of the problems of latency, getting video back and forth, interconnecting. It didn't solve any of the problems of needing to process a frame completely before then being able to send it on to the next stage in the chain. And so what Matrox has done with our Origin framework is really change the approach. We are now IT-ifying, if you will. It's not an elegant phrase, but what we've done with Origin is we have made a completely IT native framework. And so instead of it being a video system working in an IT environment, it's an IT system with video capability. And so this is a big difference. It allows you to take advantage finally of everything the cloud really has promised and offered. So when broadcasters, when live event producers, when any content or media production company talks about cloud, what they're really looking for is agility, flexibility, scalability. How do I dial up and down the amount of resources? How do I take one setup and use it for multiple applications? I want to do a news show in the morning, a cooking show in the afternoon, weather at night, whatever it is. And I don't want to have a room for each of those things. I want to be able to take a computer and be able to run different applications on it. And so that's the concept behind our Origin framework, is a complete shift from linear clock-driven to event-driven in an IT-native environment where you can actually treat bits and bytes instead of complete frames. So this radically changes the performance that you can get, as well as delivering all of those cloud benefits that everyone is looking for. So we're very excited about that, and we have many broadcasters coming for demonstrations and leaving afterwards you know, that emoji with the, you know, you're kind of mind blown. We see a lot of that coming out of the meeting room. So anyone who's interested in the future of video production in the cloud or on what we might call COTS-based equipment should definitely check out Matrox Origin.
Wow, that's a lot. You are covering a lot at this show.
We're busy. We got a lot going on. Absolutely.
What can we expect from the company over the next 12 months?
Well, of course, IP video, it's everywhere. And I think what the industry inevitably does is finds what works for them. So broadcasters like ST2110, other kinds of producers use different formats, IP video formats that suit them. Some of them are, you know, possibly open or possibly not open, but look open. I think what Matrox wants to do is say, whatever format you want to work with, we're going to enable that for you. And so if you want to go from one format to another, 2110 to SDI or SDI to some other manufacturer's format that you've already got some equipment that services, we're intending, and we will be announcing later this year, different products that are going to help you to do that conversion back and forth. And so suddenly allow producers to choose the right tool for the right job, get into IP video at a rate that they want and with the formats that work for them. So I think that continues with our mission of being the infrastructure and the glue providers for the industry and being able to take all these different little islands and connect them together.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you love about NAB show?
Well, boy, what do I love about NAB show? I must love a lot of things because this is something like my 28th or whatever it is. NAB is an amazing event. It allows us to connect with all of our customers, our partners, our resellers. It allows us to gain insight and understanding of the industry. We get all kinds of feedback. Our roadmaps are informed. We have all kinds of opportunities to develop, you know, business and networking. It's the place to come for anyone in media, really.
Sure is.
Because it's, you know, yesterday was an interesting day. You know, one of the questions we always ask our customers when they come to the booth, you know, what do you do? What are you working on? And in the past, you would always, I'm in post-production, I'm in a TV station, I'm this kind of thing. So much live event production now. I think 90% of the people I spoke to yesterday, what do you do? Oh, we do live events.
Wow.
And so there's this convergence, and I think NAB is right in the middle of that. You know, I forecast that the B in NAB might change in the future to something that isn't so tied to broadcast, but to media generally because of that convergence.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming into the studio today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.